Welcome back to the Nick Weitoish Show here on January 6th, 2026. We are officially 1 year into the Netflix deal with WWE and Monday Night Raw. We had the anniversary show last night. We had the Stranger Things crossover collab edition with Monday Night Raw last night. And tonight we go over those results. Today we go over those results, as well as we take a look at NXT for tonight. Not totally in depth, but still taking a look nonetheless, just to beef up this episode. And once again, this is the Nick Weitoish Show here at Sleeper Sports Media. They're going to be, for the foreseeable future, they are going to be done however they're done. Sometimes they might be live, sometimes they might be recorded. Might sound a little choppy because I am driving and or in my car, and just being able to do a voiceover will help out, and pretty much is all that I can do right now. So without further ado, this is the Monday Night Raw review and a look ahead at NXT New Year's Evil tonight on the CW. Starting things off with, this is just directly off of the WWE website, and the order that I'm going in is gonna talk about the main event first, and then go through in order, and just give my thoughts on each little bits and piece. We had, of course, the main event last night was Braun Breaker falling short of his first world championship against CM Punk. The main event was what it was. It was a lot of Braun Breaker first, and then we finally got some life out of CM Punk. We got some interference with Paul Heyman and the Vision, but then Punk had some backup, and we saw some luchadors come and save him. Rey Mysterio, Penta, Dragon Lee, they even the stakes with the Vision and everything like that. And Punk would go on to win and retain, and he is now and still the World Heavyweight Champion. He is the only two-time main event winner in Raw on Netflix at the debut and the anniversary show. So I'm sure in 4 years they're gonna have a stat revolving around that. I have no doubt. The way they love to throw stats out there. In fact, they did last night. They mentioned that Braun Breaker is a Steiner, and that his dad and uncle never won a world title. They also mentioned Punk came out in the varsity jacket, much like they did, just to mock them. And Punk did not look like he was going to win, but he was able to get it done. So still the World Heavyweight Champion, no changes there. We go on to the opening match, and opening contest was the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship, and the titles would change hands. We have new Women's Tag Team Champions, Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. They pick up their second win over the Kabuki Warriors in the last 6 months or so. They faced them back at Evolution, and they were able to pick up the win there, but this time the tag title's on the line. They get the big win, and they are now the new Women's Tag Team Champions. So this is a way to take them over to SmackDown and be able to have Rhea in Damian Priest's corner and continue the feud with Aleister Black and Zelina Vega and doing what they're doing over there. Nothing great about the match. It was okay. It was what it was. And Io Sky and Rhea Ripley pick up the win, get the titles off of two people that cannot speak on the mic and that do the same thing over and over again, quite literally copy and paste. Not that Io and Rhea don't do that, but still nonetheless. We have new Women's Tag Team Champions, and I hope that Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss would be next up in line. If not them, then Lash Legend and Nia Jax. We then go to Gunther backstage with Adam Pearce, and Adam Pearce tells him as he goes to the ring, maybe try a little bit of respect. It could go a long way. And Gunther laughs it off and then goes out to the ring. At this point in the show, I was not interested at all in any bit, shape, or form, so I stepped away. I didn't see or hear what he said, but I do know AJ Styles did come out and confront him, so we are going to get AJ Styles versus Gunther next. That rolls into Becky Lynch versus Maxine Dupree and the Women's Intercontinental Championship matchup. Becky is a back and forth matchup. It was a great match. There was a spot where it looks like it was kind of confusing with the spot, and it looks like Becky may have no-sold it, but I mean, she's a heel. She's doing what she's supposed to do, and she holds the ropes and gets the win in a strategic way as a heel. A lot of people on Facebook saying that she cheated. If she had cheated, the ref would have seen it, and the ref didn't see it. The ref counted to 3, 1, 2, 3, and Becky gets back her Women's Intercontinental Championship, becomes the first ever 2-time Women's Intercontinental Champion. And it's not just me saying that, it's not just Becky Lynch saying that, it's not just Triple H saying it, it's Sleeper Sports Media saying it, it's No Dirt Sheets is also saying it. Everyone is saying it. Becky Lynch back on top, back with gold, back on top of the women's championship division, even if it is in the mid-card scene. My beautiful wife and I were talking about this last night, and they should have Becky as the Women's Intercontinental Championship, or Becky as the Women's World Champion, and someone else as the Intercontinental Champion. And we will talk more about that in the days to come. But this goes into from one champion to another. We saw the women's titles change hand this week. We saw the men's titles change hand last week. The Usos cut a promo from the stairs in the middle of the WWE universe. They run it back with Jay's song, and I'm questioning why they have not gone back to their normal Uso music, and maybe they're working on a new one, and they just want to use Jay's for now so they can keep the heat going. But they cut a promo saying they're putting everyone on notice in the tag team division, as they should, as they do week in and week out. They're the best damn tag team in the world, best damn tag team in the company, and there is no disputing that. Cannot wait to see what is next for them. They mentioned AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, but AJ Styles is now looking to be in a feud with Gunther, and Dragon Lee is now mixed in with Rey Mysterio once again. So we're seeing that. We're seeing that unfold the way that it's going to unfold, and seemingly we have no new tag teams forming in the men's tag team division over on Raw. They cut the promo from the stairs because after they were done, we went to the ring, and Stephanie Vaquer was in the ring or Jackie Redmond was in the ring to announce a special interview with Stephanie Vaquer, which turned into her babbling and not saying a damn word that we could understand. She was then attacked by Raquel Rodriguez, and we saw her walking with a boot backstage, and then fast forward to her mentioning the boot. Michael Cole did confirm she did hurt her ankle in the triple threat match last week, but she did say that that's not going to stop her. So she's not going to vacate the title. She's not going to be stripped of the title. And she, I guess, is still going to compete. I mean, it is hilarious how they take the title off of people instantly sometimes, and then sometimes they don't. I don't know the severity of the injury. It could be the same thing with Dominic Mysterio. She could just be out a couple of weeks. They did mention that she's only had 3 title defenses in 108 days as champion, so it's not like it's gonna ruin her actually defending the title. They pick and choose whenever they're allowed to not defend the title, or they have to defend the title as well. So Stephanie Vaquer gets attacked by Raquel Rodriguez, and then beats her up again backstage. Goes right back after that ankle. Pierce tells her he will fine her until she has nothing left if she doesn't stop. They get her out of the building. They attend to Stephanie, and then we go on to the next match, which is Liv Morgan returning to the ring in action. For the first time in six or 7 months, I think Michael Cole said, which no doubt he just wanted a pop from saying 6, 7. But Stephanie, Lyra versus Liv was great. It was really, really good. some great spots there in this one, and we saw Liv look really good. No ring rust there at all. She was phenomenal, and she does pick up that big win over Lyra Valkyria. Her and Bayley and Roxanne were both ringside, and then Roxanne and Bayley continue their feud that just kind of ended abruptly, and they did Becky did start to chase her out of the ringside area with a chair, as Liv would go on to then pick up the victory. And that was Monday Night Raw. That was then going into the main event of CM Punk and Braun Breaker. Like I said, started it off with this one. We of course have we have no returns, we have no debuts. Another thing I did want to talk about is the amount of commercials that were rolling on this episode. I mean, at one point, the first match actually started at 8:10 p.m. and by 8:19 we were going to commercial. And at the top of the corner it says "add one of," and there was 6 commercials right off the rip. And I don't know if they were all 3 minutes each. I don't know if they were all 2.5 minutes each, because they do change, but 6 commercials in the first 10 minutes of the show is absolutely insane. And I don't know what we're doing with Netflix. I don't know why they were so ad and commercial heavy last night. Especially being on the debut or the anniversary show of Raw on Netflix, you'd think they would do no commercials free, or commercial free for the first 30 minutes or hour, whatever it is. The show went about 2.5 hours, I'm pretty sure, last night, so nothing insane or crazy. The stage was set up with Stranger Things. That was pretty cool. Corey Graves was wearing a Hellfire Club t-shirt, and they kicked it off with the Stranger Things WWE intro, which was pretty cool. Very, very cool. They showed Brooklyn and the Barclays Center in the Upside Down to start things off. That was pretty cool. Not saying it wasn't great, it wasn't cool, it wasn't visually stunning, but that was all that it was, and there was nothing else really big. They threw some Demogorgons up there, they threw some Mind Flayers up there, whatever it was, but that was all. Nothing really to write home about on that front. And no one from the cast was there, which I find insane. No returns, no Roman Reigns, no Chad Gable, no Chris Jericho. They did do another tease. They mentioned the learning tree of Paul Heyman that Braun Breaker was studying under. So holy fucking shit, that's a Chris Jericho reference, as the memes were rolling. And it could just be teases. It could actually lead to something. It was mentioned that Chris Jericho had said himself that he would want to show up when it's least expected. So no Gable, no Roman Reigns, no Jericho, and no AJ Lee. So that was what it was. But we roll on and continue to roll on into the new year with NXT tonight, and we will take a look here at NXT right now. Or at least what they have up to date on the show, on the website there for NXT New Year's Evil, which is again tonight, and they don't have anything up, so we will not, unless I can find the graphics here, which would be under the WWE News on WWE.com, and let's see, just SmackDown, the latest Raw results. Alright, I definitely thought they had New Year's Evil. Posts up there. Let's try Twitter. We'll go to WWE NXT. Excuse me. Alright. We have Thea Hale defending her NXT Women's North American Championship against Blake Monroe. Blake Monroe did drop this title after supposedly was supposed to have a lengthy title reign. I don't think she was supposed to lose this title there a couple weeks ago. Kendall Gray looks to be in action tonight. Yes, Kendall Gray versus JC Jane in a title versus title, the NXT Evolve Women's Champion versus the NXT Women's Champion. It would be so sick to see Kendall Gray win even more gold. But she's also officially on NXT and is not on Evolve, so it's interesting that they're having someone not in Evolve have that title. If you go to WWE.com and go to the roster and click on Kendall Gray, you will see that she is designated to the NXT brand and not Evolve. This could just be because Evolve is just an offset of NXT, and it's not actually a recognized brand, which is fine if they want to do it that way, I guess. But just kind of pointless to have that title going around there. They could just make the Evolve title another mid-card title, make it the women's, U.S. title or whatever, or in coordinates of that. Keep it as the Evolve title, but make it equivalent to the U.S. title, not necessarily a brand's world title, even though they don't recognize those world titles officially or anything like that. We also have NXT champion Obafemi defending his title against TNA Leon Slater. And we also have Tatum Paxley against Izzy Dame. They go one-on-one again in their long historic rivalry right now, and that sounded like Tony Khan would not being excited about a feud to save his life and just throwing out words there to hype it up. So Izzy Dame and Tatum Paxley go one-on-one tonight, and they continue their rivalry that they have going on since Izzy Dame turned on her and cost her the NXT Women's Championship to go back to JC Jane. We have Thea Hale and Blake Monroe, of course, like I said, and that looks to be it for NXT over there on the CW tonight for NXT New Year's Evil. And that is pretty much going to do it for the episode today. Like I said, a review of Raw and a look ahead or a small preview of NXT. I will probably break it down and upload this full video, and then also do the NXT preview all by itself and just throw the graphics up there. That one will be out later today, as I do have to do some editing for that one and wait for them to put the graphics up. This was just reading off of what's on Twitter, so they could add even more action to the show tonight for NXT on the CW, unless you use Surfshark VPN, and then you can watch NXT tonight on Netflix. Thank you to No Dirt Sheets for the Surfshark VPN code and link that can help us sign up for Surfshark VPN for $10 for a year, I believe it is. I believe that's still the deal going on. But go over to the link there and get yourself some Surfshark VPN so you can watch NXT, SmackDown, and PLEs on Netflix alongside Monday Night Raw. Of course, you have to watch NXT PLEs on Peacock, and Saturday night's main event is still on Peacock as well. But everything else WWE Evolved is now on Netflix. They are adding and have added all the past PLEs to Netflix. There was a lot of discussion on if they were going to add them to YouTube, if they were going to do a Vault channel for YouTube, and make money off of those ads over on YouTube, which would be absolutely insane and just show how greedy they are. So it's great that they added it to Netflix. It makes it more bang for your buck for a Netflix subscription when just wanting it and having it just to watch WWE product. So it's fantastic there. It's really cool. They're very organized, so much easier than what it was on Peacock. It's broken in by season. It was like that on Peacock as well, but the interface on Netflix is way better than what it is on Peacock. Also, speaking of Netflix, we are getting a tease. The word buzzing around, talking a little bit about media and Netflix and the Stranger Things collab. The reason why they could have done the collab now is because there is apparently a secret episode still waiting to be released, and that will be released apparently tomorrow. I did see from a Netflix group on Facebook that they are doing a documentary, so going behind the scenes on making season 5. I don't think that that's what they're referring to. It probably is, and they're probably hyping it up as a bonus episode, but it ends up being just a documentary. So that is going to be what it's going to be. Much like WWE Unreal Season 2 is coming officially on January 20th, and the trailer dropped last night. It looks fantastic. Paul Heyman starts it off saying he doesn't like the show. He is from an era where you protected the sanctity of the business, and that's how you made your living, and this and that. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch were heavily favored and heavily shown in the trailer and in the show. R-Truth was shown in the show, so we're going to see how that unfolded with him and his release. Rhea Ripley was briefly shown. I find it funny that Cody Rhodes was not shown in the trailer. I don't believe Logan Paul and Jelly Roll were shown in the show, with a bunch of others, Naomi. So that is very interesting to see what they're planning for season 2 and who that's going to be focused around. And it's very funny that they're not showing Cody Rhodes, at least in the trailer, when he was so heavily favored in the first season, as he always is and always needs to be. But could this be because there are... I mean, I know Becky Lynch is a heel, but could they finally be turning Cody Rhodes heel, and now that he's not going to go and do the press and the media and the documentaries and answer and do interviews and all that stuff? And that could be going along with where we're at with Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes as they prepare for the 3 Stages of Hell match come SmackDown this Friday in Berlin. We also know that Monday Night Raw next week will be in Dusseldorf, Germany, and will have a special start time of 2 p.m. live on Netflix. Yes, it will be live on Netflix at 2 p.m. Here in the States. That means it is still 8 p.m. in prime time over there in Germany. So if you're watching on Netflix, you'll need to start that broadcast at 2 p.m. or you'll be able to watch without commercials later at 8 o'clock normal time. So I will do my best. I take my lunch at 2 o'clock, so that's right when the show starts. So hopefully they have everything announced the day before on Sunday, so I can get that preview out next week for Monday Night Raw. Again, these will be recorded best that I can, or live here and there, but recorded best I can and when I can. So it might be while I'm driving, it might be while I am at work on my lunch break, and just will have them uploaded right after that. So around 2:30, 3 o'clock, if not, or like this one's going to be uploaded right away. I just got to throw the graphic over it. I got about 20 minutes until I'm at work, so we'll be able to do this and get this episode out for you. But this is episode 2 of season 2 of the Nick Weitoish Show here at Sleeper Sports Media. We reviewed Monday Night Raw. We talked about Netflix. We also talked about NXT New Year's Evil, and we will see you tomorrow for the preview of AEW Dynamite. And that is all we got for today. So thank you for watching, viewing, and subscribing. Please go check out the Walmart Creator link. Please go check out Surfshark VPN and the link from No Dirt Sheets, and all the other links and all the other partners that we have here at Sleeper Sports Media and the Nick Weitoish Show that helps do everything that we do. And with that being said, I will see you next time for the Nick Weitoish